17th century, most people believed in God. I'm not saying it's good or bad. I'm not saying we should or should not believe in God. But there is one aspect of it. If you do believe in God, you accept that there is something ineffable, something that cannot be explained, something beyond all logic and reason. Are we really willing to sacrifice that? So today, perhaps we've lost that, and we decided to believe in science, which is great. Let's believe in science. But let's not, number one, make it into a new religion, and number two, let's not be so selective. Let's not believe in science as it was in the 17th century. Let's accept all of science, everything that science tells us. Let's accept all the achievements of science in the last 100 years. Quantum mechanics, relativity, Gödel's incompleteness. Let's take all of that into account. Why don't we do that? And you know, a friend of mine, I discussed this with a friend of mine. He told me about the psychological condition, which is called anosognosia. I've been reading about that. It's a very interesting psychological disorder when our logical mind, somebody may have a severe disability, for example, paralyzed limb, like an arm or a leg, but their mind, their logical mind, is convincing them that that's not the case. So you'd have a person who would have a paralyzed leg, but he would say, tonight I'm going to go to a dance club, tonight I'm going to, and then when you ask that person, so did you go? Oh, I couldn't go because I was busy. So in other words, you find excuses and arguments and you explain to yourself why you couldn't do it instead of facing reality. Instead of facing the reality of your condition. Anosognosia. Is that becoming our common disease? What exactly are we trying to run away from? What exactly is it that we are afraid to face? And another point is they talk about the body as if it is this fixed object, like this podium. But we know from biology that the body is constantly rejuvenated. All the cells are constantly rejuvenated. It's this constant motion, constant motion of us and the universe, and we are all connected by this. It's not. You don't have to listen to a guru. You don't have to go to listen to spiritual teachers, who, by the way, have been saying that all along. Modern science tells us. So we believe in science? Great. Let's take that from our science.
Loren wrote this in the margins as he was studying a mathematical problem in set theory. Quote,
each definition is a piece of secret ripped from nature by the human spirit.
Each definition is a piece of secret ripped from nature by the human spirit.
I insist on this. Any complicated thing, being illumined by definitions, being laid out in them, being broken up in pieces, will be separated into pieces completely transparent even to a child, excluding foggy and dark parts that our intuition whispers to us. By separating the object into logical pieces, then only can we move further towards new successes due to definitions, unquote. By linking naming to mathematical definition, and by describing definition as, quote, a piece of secret ripped from nature, unquote, Loren revealed his differences both with traditional mystical views of naming that I've already discussed a bit, and also with Western rationalism, especially the French form so followed by his mathematical colleagues in Paris. According to the ancient Greeks and many later mystics, naming was a way to gain a power over a thing that you named. But Luzin believed that naming was a two-way street, involving both losses and gains. When one named something, Luzin thought one gained in effectiveness, what he called, quote, new successes due to definition, unquote, but one at the same time also lost what he called, quote,
the foggy and dark parts our intuition whispers to us.
The foggy and dark parts our intuition whispers to us.
Thus, to Luzin, naming and definition are the awkward, incomplete, and inadequate tools that we must by necessity use in order to do mathematics, but which fall far short of encapsulating the entirety of the objects they allegedly describe. Luzin saw this as being at the heart of the field of mathematics he created, which is called descriptive set theory. According to French rationalists like Borel, Leblanc, and Bayer, one should follow Descartes and, quote, commence with objects the simplest and easiest to know, and ascend step by step to the knowledge of the more complex, unquote. But Luzin differed fundamentally with this form of logical reductionism. To him, the entirety of an object is far greater than its individual characteristics that might be named or described.
And if you don't know, now you know.